Hello and welcome to LTV 1, your local TV channel. And these are the listings for the Briary Gap over the coming week. At our cinema, Friday the 18th, Monday the 21st, Tuesday the 22nd and Wednesday the 23rd of April at 8:30 p.m. in Bruges. And Salon Film Society present on Monday the 28th of April at 8:30 p.m. I Do. And at our theatre, we have an exciting piece of drama coming up on Saturday the 26th and Sunday the 27th of April at 8 p.m. Survivors, and it's written by Declan Hassett, formerly of The Examiner, and directed by Michael Toomey. Now, this play is about the sinking of the Titanic and 10 years later, civil war in Ireland. They're the dramatic settings for this powerful play, with three women battle against cruel fate as a nation staggers to freedom and independence. So that seems to be a very historic play, and it's, again, Survivors by Declan Hassett and directed by Michael Toomey. And Saturday the 10th of May at 8:30 p.m, Flaceol Cockey present a traditional concert, and this is going to be featuring many young musicians in association with Ahina Ceoltas. And Sunday the 11th of May at 8 p.m, Macroom Senior Citizens in association with the Bealtaine Festival present the Dublin City Ramblers. Now I'm going to hand you over to Pat O'Connell for the news and sport.
Hello, welcome to this week's LTV News and Sports Desk. The first item we have this week is that the County Flaceol is being held in Macroom between the 8th and the 11th of May. The County Flaceol is being hosted by Ahina Ceoltas, and there will be over 1,000 competitors taking part in the County Flaceol, which is on, as I said, the weekend of the 8th and 11th of May. Now, as we previously know, Ahina Ceoltas a couple of years ago held the Munster Flaceol here in Macroom, and they also held the Flaceol, the County Flaceol, a couple of years previous to that. But this year it's back again, and as I say, it'll be a big occasion for the town, and the Ahina members are very busy at the moment organising the events under Nancy O'Donovan, who's the Cathaoirleach, and Dermot Donovan, who's the last Cathaoirleach, and Teresa Denny, who's the Rooney. And as I say, they will be calling around to various businesses and shops in the town looking for a bit of support. And they also would like to recognise the support of the Macroom Town Council and the Gardaí, and they hope that everything will run smoothly. So that's the event to look forward to there, the Cork County Flaceol in Macroom on the 8th and the 11th of May 2008. The Macroom Twinning Association, they're off to Bewbury on the 21st to 24th of June. This weekend, the Twin Town of Bewbury will be playing host to the Macroom Twinning Association and also the Marcella-Carcassonne Twinning Association, when they will both travel, as I said, to Bewbury on the 21st and 24th of June, and they will be taking part in the Midsummer's French Music Festival. And anybody interested in travelling, the fare is €260, and you can contact Mariah Kingston on 087 924 1260, and if you're interested in going, you want to do that immediately because there's only a very limited number of seats available on this trip. Now, down in Mackegan College, the students of Mackegan College had recently organised a raffle to fundraise for the purchase of a second defibrillator for the school. The 14 staff and the 3 students that are trained in the use of this important life-saving equipment. The first defibrillator which the school have is placed in the Macroom Sports Complex, and the second defibrillator, which they know at the purchasing, will be used by the college when various teams and other sporting events are taking place. The second defibrillator will travel with the teams to these sporting events. We also note here from St. Coleman Boys National School in Macroom, and they are organising a fashion show in aid of school funds, and this will take place on Wednesday the 30th of April at 8 p.m. in the Riverside Park Hotel in Macroom. Tickets are €15 each, and they can be purchased from the school, and the number there is 42705. Again, it's a fashion show in aid of St. Coleman Boys National School, and it's being held on the 30th of April in the Riverside Park Hotel in Macroom. That's all I have for you this week. Again, we'd like to thank you for watching. If you have anything which you need covered, then please contact me, Pat O'Connell at Railway View Macroom, or get me on 026 42023 or on mobile 087 266 2192. Thank you for watching.
And next, a few weeks ago, I had the pleasure of having a chat with members of the victorious Kennedy team that won the County Junior Football Championship in 1950. I hope you enjoy it. Well, hello and welcome. And at this point, I'm not going to give you TV listings, or I'm not going to give you Briery Gap listings, or any listings at all whatsoever, because as you all well know at this stage, Kennedy were the new All-Ireland champions, Junior Club Championship in Croke Park on the 17th of February. And when something big like this happens in a club, I suppose it's time to look back and reminisce about the past and victorious teams from that club. Now, I'm joined today by very handsome men, and I'm going to name them for you. And from my right, I have John Drummy, who was a member of that team. JJ Hinchin, of course, is no stranger to any of you, a member of the team. Janie Kiley, also on the team. John O'Sullivan from Kennedy GAA, and Chris Reynolds, who was Assistant Secretary for that period. Neely Toomey, also a member of the team. John Barry Murphy, of course, well known from Kennedy GAA as well. Ger Murphy here, Dan Sullivan, is here, also a member of the team. And we had Ger Murphy, who of course was captain. So anyway, we're going to chat with these people about that era, which is, I suppose, 58 years ago. And I'm going to talk to Chris there now for a second and ask about the structure of GAA clubs in that time. Was it the same as it is now, Chris? Was it chairman, secretary? How did you select your selectors, etc., which is a kind of controversial thing at the moment anyway?
It was a very closed shop, really. There was just the chairman, secretary. I don't think we even had a treasurer. The secretary looked after the money as well, you know. And there was about 3 or 4 committee, and they were selectors as well. So it was a very tidy operation, because there weren't too many people coming forward, I suppose, to take on the jobs anyway. But nevertheless, we all got on very well together.
Yeah, and was it a big club now at that stage, yeah?
Not really, no.
And would you meet often? Would there be regular meetings? And
I suppose we might meet maybe once a month or so.
And who was the secretary at that time?
I think it was Johnny Cronin. Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Johnny was lived in Cown. He was a postman.
And did you have a president?
I don't think so.
No, Pastor Young.
It came later.
Pastor Young was the president.
Oh, sorry.
Pastor Young.
Yeah.
That's right, of course, the teacher.
Yeah.
And chairman?
Chairman.
Any memories there?
Sure,
I'd say it was all about playing, was it?
I can tell you anything on this.
That's it, have the statistics with you. So, while you were having a look there, we could talk about maybe, nowadays there's a great emphasis on underage teams and that sort of thing. Was that going on around that time? JJ was...
No, mostly minor, but that came junior.
Was it?
And
because
senior.
nowadays young boys go training straight away, about 5 years of age, I'd say.
There wasn't the same attraction in television, and they have a game drug we were talking about that time.
Yeah. But they didn't actually start playing until, we'll say...
When they started, played minor.
Minor, really?
Kennedy hadn't any minor team when I was a minor. I had to play with Macroom. There was no minor team in the club those years, John. I think the last year I was a minor. Kennedy, after the last year, when I was 18, and we were seeing Dick. It was Neely Toomey and Den. And Johnny went out of let him play around, play minor with Kennedy. That's why I think when Kennedy the first minor team that year.
And I suppose now, nearly now and then, they would be like almost living in the new pitches now in Carrigadrohid. Both pitches, of course, overlooking the lovely Lee. But Dan, of course, is adjacent to one of the pitches, and Neely across the road from the other. In those days, where did you train? Neely, where was the training in those days?
Oh, Hinchin's High Field.
Hinchin's High Field.
And Hinchin's Park in,
And where was that, could you tell me?
around where Flynn's are supposed to be building the houses here,
Is that up over the...
just east of the village.
Yes?
That's the park in there.
Yeah.
And Hogan's Comroe, and Captain
After
Hardy's field.
years we were in Lehan's.
Lehan's
down
Inch.
the pitch.
The hands in, yeah.
Yes. There was a good lot of game. There was senior game trade there. I remember Mill Street and the bar play there.
County semi-final,
County semi-final.
1948 was it?
Yep.
Was 48, John.
There was another pitch where had Barry Murphy's houses now. Do you remember? There was a
That's the
pitch
Lee
there.
Hans pitch you're talking about,
No,
is
the
it?
Inch.
Oh no, that's a
It was
different
in
one.
second pitches now. That's where we trained good bit.
Yeah.
We
They're
could-
above Jordan, so didn't they? Jordan above. Where Condon is now. They played in.
Yep, I said
They
latter
were
years.
training, right?
Way back before that, they trained above in the above in
Above going loose.
by the arch, you know, in where Harrison's have.
Oh yes,
there.
yeah.
They was trained
They
there.
used to train before that again, up in the Borino and put his hands with probably then and was Lucy's later on.
Oh yes.
They used to train Jackie Ryan and
So what you're saying basically is anywhere at all you got a pitch you were playing, is that it? That's what it sounds like to me.
Sorry, and Dermot Moynihan was the chairman.
Very good. And of course Dammit was on that team as well, but we'll talk about the team later on. But I'm just thinking then, what was the training like? You know, training now is so structured. You know, there's a coach, there's a manager, there's a selection committee, but the training is very intense now. And it would be, I suppose, maybe 2-3 nights a week, and it would be all exercises, it would be warming up and warming down and cooling down and doing this. Was it like that? John, can you remember it being like that?
There wasn't much of that. In those days, there wasn't much training like that. There was a lot more training to the end and more fit.
Yeah.
Then
And
I know
what kind of
time,
training did you do?
I remember we took out by the ditch one time,
Yes.
maybe half crown inside in your pocket. With 3 pints to it.
I suppose, sorry, Jenny.
Yes. Go ahead, John.
I suppose it's fair to say that I suppose you were playing football every night of the week. I can remember as a young fella, this was below Lee Hans Inch. That there might be 30 people training there, like. It was, there wasn't so much emphasis on running at the time, but you would have matches every night. I'd say the players were really very fit. That's now the pre-50s, like.
Yeah, but I suppose it must have been a tremendous advantage in those days because, I mean, obviously, as you were saying, JJ, soccer is a huge distraction. Rugby is becoming a distraction, obviously, because it's big now as well. And indeed, a lot more sport that wasn't even heard of in those days. I mean, apart from bowling, I suppose.
See, people at that time cycled a lot. They walked a
And
lot.
that was the fitness.
And they worked a bit harder too.
yeah.
And we were kind of naturally fit, you know, now. We were reasonably fit anyway.
There was
No television in that day, is it for the...
I remember listening to Northern Ireland would be the only well, it was around that time, but in Hogan's, having Northern Ireland Sunday, the wind they be open.
That's right.
You know, in the village in the
Radio.
when there'd be a big crowd outside the
That's
window,
right,
listen to the hollow air.
Yeah.
And Jeannie, would you be very worked up now before a game? Would you be like, was the pressure the same as it was now? Was the will to win the same as it was now? Was that always there?
Oh,
That
the-
appetite for victory?
What the will to win would be there, but I'd say we wouldn't be set up anyway, like, you know.
Is that right?
And well, some people might go for a few points the night before.
That's
right?
what I was going to say. Is it true? Is it true that you could actually go for a few points the night before a game?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
have a good night's sleep. Is that true?
Yeah, that's
Would that
true,
happen?
yes, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't want to be telling the young fellas that
No,
as well, would we?
but I mean, that was... They wouldn't be going getting drunk, like, but you'd have a few drinks, maybe, and relax, like, huh?
But I suppose there was no sort of specific diet, I suppose, to be
Oh, no.
the bacon and cabbage, and that was it. Do the best you can. Now it's all like geared towards pasta and various drinks, and keep away from this and concentrate on that. So I suppose everything has changed that way. But being captain of that team, Jerry, that must have been very special for you, was it?
Well, it was the call.
What was your role as captain? Did you have to do
You
something special?
just say if you
or
would
be a
no
good leader?
more and keep them going. That's all I could do. Remember, I had a great bunch of lads with me. Very
right?
dedicated. JJ, Neely, Dan, Lord Mercy and the rest of them, they were all great lads. Janie Kiley, John Drummy. We had a great bunch of lads. But it was hard to get training that time, like for to cycle or maybe walk and so on. But
What what was the catchment area for the Kennedy players at that stage? Like how far away did they have to travel? You know, we know that they would have cycled or they would have walked.
But they were all reasonably local.
They were.
The two players, you know, you had the two from the college, them students, they were Ty Bailey and John Brown, and then Morris Jones was...
He was kind of local too, sure.
He was a guard in Royland. Morris Jones.
You had probably much the same catchment area, like you'd have a few from Clud, like one from Mary, like. But they say that it wasn't intense, because of the rivalry in the 40s was equal to the rivalry today. God, I can remember as a young lad, I think it was 1948, I suppose, Kennedy with a great junior team playing Kilmurray in Inchigeely. That was a tremendous game. Kennedy were very lucky to win that day. It was a goal by... The tide was nearly going against you. I'm not sure who scored the goal. Was it Ted Downey? I thought it was JJ.
Ted Downey,
but that was a great team, the 48 team. You had some tremendous matches.
We played the final, that is 48.
No, it's 50 won the
The Army beat us.
48, yes.
The Army beat us in 48.
Well, they did, that's right.
You had a great match against the Valley Rovers. They had a very good team in Rycourt.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wasn't that 48?
Was playing that day.
That there was great pressure on the team to win a county championship, because the same bunch of players had won about 5 or 6 mid-cup championships in the 40s. In 43, 45 in a row from 46 to 50, and had been beaten in the county final by Collins's, the Armies they used to call them, in 1948. And there was great pressure on to win, but they were finding it very difficult to beat teams from the Drogheda division in particular, wasn't it?
Yep.
From Tariff and Castlemagne were very strong at the time. And so that there was great pressure on to win a county, and they eventually achieved that in 1950.
Right. So I suppose this team, the team of 1950, one of you are going to tell me what that team was made of, who was in goals, the placings of all the team, how it was fielded in that day. Who remembers that clearly? All of you, I'd say. JJ?
John Barry. No.
John Barry. What was the team?
Well, we started in Kildare against Steve Leary, where we got the fright of our lives. And I can always remember some spectators in the crowd shouting for Eve Leary, and he's in Glory Bunny. But I think we won by 2 or 3 points in a desperate tight finish. We played Ballyvourney then in the mid-cup final. You won that fairly comprehensively. Actually, you won most of the mid-cup finals fairly comprehensively in that year. It was amazing, even that you had terrible tight matches before that. I'm not too terrible clear. We played Ballyvourney, as I said, in the final, but we played another match in between, and I'm not sure, before we won the mid-cup final. We went on then. You were playing Brian Dillon's in Coachwood. Roger Ryan was the referee. We won that by a goal. You played Bandon then in a scheme. My God, that was some game. You'll be talking about the games today. That was as tough a game as I ever saw. The Larkin Mercy and Tim Hinchin, I can see him put his hand around the post, trying to protect himself from being bundled into the net, and he had the ball. I can remember that clearly. I think, if my memory serves me rightly, that Torquil Casey refereed that match.
He did, correct.
You came on then to the county final inside the Dyke against Newmarket. That was a very low scoring game. I think it was
4 points apiece.
4 points apiece. Let somebody else join.
Was that?
I have the line out here actually.
Yeah.
Tim Hinchin in goal.
Oh yes.
Brown, Neely Toomey and John Murphy, back line. Johnny Finnegan, J.J. Hinchin, Tim Sullivan, and then Dan Connors and Morris Jones centre field. Then Dermot Moynihan, Dan Finnegan and Dan Sullivan on the half line. And the full forward line was Tyke Bailey, Jimmy Toomey and Neil Moynihan. Subs, Jack Hinchin for Dan Connors. The referee was Morris O'Connell from St. Vincent's.
That's a drawn match.
That was a draw match. Yeah.
Did Jimmy Toomey play that time? Jimmy Toomey didn't play, I'd say, in the...
Jay Toomey down there now.
Well, that's Jackie Toomey, sorry.
Oh, sorry,
Jackie Toomey,
Jackie
yeah.
Toomey.
And
yeah.
was the replay then the same team?
No.
No.
Jeannie Minor.
Neil Minor.
Neil Minor was on.
He came on for
Neil
Neil
Minor.
Minor, who was taking the county
That's right,
final.
Then
You scored a goal against Benton in his game, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
There's a lovely touch here about a Newmarket supporter encroached the pitch and struck Dan Connors, and Morris Jones and J.J. Hinchin quickly attended to the offender.
That was nicely put. Very nicely put. There are two members of that team that can't be here with us today, but online now we're going to speak to hopefully one of the members of that team who is in the United States, Dan Finnegan. So if you bear with me for a second and you can have a look there at that victorious team while I'm going to dial Dan and we'll try and have a word with him here. Hello Dan, how are you?
Very good.
Now we're online now. We're with LTV here at the moment, which is the local television channel.
Yeah.
And we're speaking with some of the team that you played with in the 50s. So I'm going to get them to talk with you, and you're very welcome to the programme, and it's great to be able to make contact with you, and it's quite clear here as well. So you can chat away to the lads now. I'm going to get you to talk to JJ there now first, and you can talk about old times, okay? So say hello to JJ.
Very good. Very good. I can hear you quite clearly.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, JJ. How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you keeping?
I'm very good. I'm very good.
I presume.
I'm getting up there. You know, the old years are slipping very, very quickly.
They are indeed.
But I'm healthy and strong, and I'm delighted, of course, that game and that victory of yours in the All-Ireland final brought new life to me. I tell you, it brought back so many memories of when we used to play back in the 50s, and from there on until I left for America. How are you feeling yourself?
Very good, thanks. All good. How was the weather out? How was the weather out there?
Yes.
How was the weather out there?
Oh, the weather is fabulous. It was 79 degrees yesterday.
Thanks very much. The wind is blowing here, Dan. Now you shouldn't be telling us that. Will you?
I'm trying to rub it in now. You know.
Okay. How long are you actually in the States?
I'm 57 years.
Well, we could be speaking to you in Kennedy for the good it did to your accent anyway. You haven't changed.
I wasn't a quick learner, so it has taken me all that long.
Right.
I don't think I'll succeed now.
Yeah. Well, sitting beside JJ here we have Janie. If you'd like to say hello to him, Janie Kiley.
Janie Kiley? Oh, yes.
Would you like to say something to Dan there, Janie?
Hello, Dan. How are you?
Hello, Janie. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad at all. I can't complain anyway.
That's good. I'm looking at your picture here.
Yeah?
And the calendar.
Oh, yeah.
It was a fabulous calendar you guys put out.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was great. Huh?
And it brings back memories to me. My goodness, we spent so much time together down in the ancient Kennedy.
I know, yeah.
So, kicking that ball around, and we had our own share of victories in our time, really. We had the county final, and we had the mid-court championships, and they're all great memories today, and they came back to me in floods when I heard that you were doing so well.
Yeah.
In this year.
Yeah, so this year the first to be it anyway.
We also have the captain here with us now, Jerry Murphy. Do you remember that day?
Jerry was captain that day and played a great part in our victory.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, Jerry.
How are you?
Fine, Jerry. I hear you're not a Kennedy man anymore.
Oh, no. I'm near the Kerry man now.
How's everything?
Yeah, that's going well.
Yeah. Did you go to the game?
No, I wasn't able to attend it at all.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's sitting here beside Dan Sullivan and Neely Toomey. They're here with me as well.
Oh my God, the two great ones of the past also.
Great.
Hello, is this Neely?
Neely and Dan, yeah.
Yeah, hello Neely and Dan.
Hello,
This is Dan
Hello,
again.
Dan.
I'm glad to be able to say hello to you. It's always a joy to meet you when I go back.
Well, I can assure you they're looking very well, elegant and handsome this morning.
Well, this is a very special occasion. An occasion like this doesn't happen too often,
Of course.
Yeah,
John
I'm
Barry
glad to be a
Murphy's here
part
with
of it,
me.
and I want to thank you sincerely for calling me.
Not at all. John Barry Murphy's here with me.
Oh,
And
I see
John
quite
O'Sullivan.
often when I go home, I knew where to find them there at Pam in the public house.
Yes.
Out,
Yeah, and Chris Reynolds is here with me as well. He was the assistant
Hello,
secretary.
Chris.
Hi Dan, how are you doing?
I'm fine. It was great to hear your voice after all these years.
Indeed. Yeah.
My God, since 1957 I left.
My God.
Yeah.
Now 208, that's 57 years.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem that long, but a lot of things have happened back there since I left. I try to keep in touch, but I don't. But this year was exceptional.
Oh, it was,
Well,
yeah.
you can say hello now in a second to John Drummy, but in the meantime, Neely Toomey wants to say something to you. I hope it isn't a big, long, dirty story or something, but he wants to have a word
He
anyway.
wouldn't tell dirty stories. He's a clean boy.
Right, Neely, off you go.
Dan,
Very good.
do you remember the night we went to the Ballabri race dance in Dunmanway?
I do well.
You did all
I
the
tell you,
dancing.
we went lots of places after playing golf.
Do you remember
Lots of places that wasn't good for our health, you know.
Do you remember the sing-song?
But we had a good time. We really, when I look back at it, we really had a good time. Even though it was times wasn't the best, but we enjoyed what we had.
Well, Neely said you had a good sing-song.
Yes, we did indeed. Well, we always found time to sing, you know.
Do you
I
remember?
did a lot of that when I came to America for a number of years, but not anymore. Yeah.
Do you remember Jim Adams singing?
Jim Mannion?
Jim Adams, he was
Oh,
a
Jim
player
Adams, I do well,
of
to Rod, I played
Do you
Jim
remember the
many
song
times.
he sang?
Jim, you know, my next door neighbour is a friend of Jim Adams.
Is that right?
He's from Offaly.
Yes, but do you remember the song he sang is what Neely's saying?
Oh, I don't. What was the song?
Frankie and Johnny were lovers. Do you remember
Oh,
that?
that's right. Yeah. Jim was a great character. Yeah. Jim is from Offaly, but my next door neighbour was a friend of his.
It's in the forestry.
Yeah, so it's a small world.
So you didn't say hello to John yet, so you have to say hello to John Drummy. He's here as well.
Oh, I have to say hello to John. John and I go back a long ways.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, is that John?
Yeah, how are you keeping?
How are you?
I'm sorry you're not here with us.
Oh, I am sorry too. I would love to. I almost went to the game, John.
We had many a good day with Twiggy.
The two of us running cross country. Do you remember that?
I do well.
And the name of the guy that used to be with us, he was a champion runner, cross country runner, Georgie Griffiths, wasn't it?
Georgie, God rest his soul, he was buried last year.
Was he?
We had a terrible race with him in Foxton House in Ballyvillan in 1950.
Is that well? I'm sorry to hear that he passed away.
Kildoynan had a terrible team in those days.
Huh?
Kildoynan. They had a great cross-country team in those days.
Oh yes. He was a great champion.
We had a terrible race with him in the Foxton House in Ballyvillan
Yeah.
in 1950.
Yeah.
They
There were great times,
were,
and it came to the football. You know, of course, this past month has been fantastic for you guys.
that's right.
It has been wonderful, Dan, and I'll tell you what, I think, seeing as you were in Florida, I think it would be a good idea if we all packed our bags and went to the sunshine there and came and visited you for a week. I think it would be a very good idea. What do you think of that, Dan?
I could handle it.
But can we?
I would handle it. As a matter of fact, I had 18 people down visiting me there a couple of months ago from for my 80th birthday.
My God.
Oh, that was wonderful.
I had 9 grandchildren and their fathers and mothers and what have you, and they all came down, so I had to find a place for all of them to spend a week, and it was a great week. I really enjoyed it, because we don't see as much of the grandchildren as we'd like to, you know.
Dan, I'm just going to wind up now shortly, but I just want to ask the gentleman here if anybody else wants to have a word with you.
Just what they
Very
say.
good.
Dan, just to say hello to you, Dan. I hope you enjoyed the calendar. Make sure that you mind your brother Michael. I believe he's out on holidays with you.
Oh, he's
Lovely to
sleeping in the next room here, John.
Yeah. Lovely to hear from you,
What
Dan.
time is it there, Dan, at the moment?
It's 8 minutes past 8 here now, our time.
Right.
But we had the new time, we had the summertime start last week.
Okay.
So you didn't get me out of bed too early indeed.
That's good. And JJ has one word with you now before we close up.
Very good, okay.
JJ?
Dan, how did it Bernard?
Dennis Bernard wasn't so good in a number of years.
No.
He
But
was sick last year and the year before, and he had a quadruple bypass, and he lives up the road from me here. He comes down for about 6 months of the year, and he's playing golf, and he's even beating me now, which he never did in his life.
Give him my regard.
I still have my 18 handicap, JJ.
I know, yeah.
Yes, but he's in, Dennis is in great form.
Give him my regards
I
and
met
meet
him
him.
yesterday, and he's a lot of fun to play with, a great character. He loves to get something on you and have a joke, you know, and spending a day with Dennis is a very special one.
Give him my regards and meet
I
him.
will. I told him I was going to be talking to you guys, and he said to say hello, and he has a great interest in Canterbury, of course, because he was on the team, and the junior team in 1951 with us, and he got to know us, and that's where I first got to know him, and that's 56, 57 years ago now, and he's still my best friend.
That's good.
Dan, we're going to wind it up there. It was a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you, Anne,
And I know that everybody here is delighted that they had the opportunity that you could join us on the programme today.
Well, I almost went to the game. It was very close.
I know.
I nearly went to it, but...
Well, hopefully we'll get it on DVD and get it out to you as soon as we can. But the
Well,
most,
wouldn't
the
I
most
love
important thing we'll get to you anyway is the song. Have you heard about the song?
No, well, yes, I have somebody who wrote a song.
Yes. Well, we'll get a copy of that out to you now so that you can enjoy that. Because actually...
I would love it. My wife would love it too.
Yeah, the team of the 50 team are mentioned on that song, so it would be lovely for you to have. So we'll get that to you as soon as we can.
That would be something. That would
Okay.
be something. Your calendar was fabulous. It did a fabulous job on the calendar.
It's great now that you
And
liked it.
a little sad note too, when I look at it, I see so many of them have passed away. And the last one was Johnny Finnegan.
Yes, that's right.
Johnny was like a rubber ball. He was a great bit of stuff. I was sorry to hear that he passed away. Yeah.
So we're going to say goodbye to you now, Dan. We have to continue with the programme here, and I thank you very much for taking the call, and we really appreciate it. So goodbye from us.
Thank you. The
And
pleasure
good
was
health to
all
you.
mine, Anne.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Look,
Okay. No, that was nice, wasn't it? And it was nice, and it was very clear, wasn't it?
It was perfect.
So I suppose getting back, and we will try the other gentleman later on, but I suppose getting back into our own, where we were, I suppose, where we left off. I suppose there is a special moment for all of you in GAA, something that was really memorable, that you'll never forget. It might be when you were playing yourself, it might be looking at something, but there has to be a great moment in your career in GAA. So what would that be for you now, John? Your best moment?
Three Canterbury when you county in 1950.
Very good. JJ, what would be yours?
That would be certainly our first big one.
Your
Certainly
big
would be,
one.
remember the 50,
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
And was there a time during that game, like was there a moment, apart from when the final whistle went off, was there something that kind of turned the game? Was there something that was, we have it, you know,
Well, it
that
was
lovely feeling?
The drawn game, we were very fortunate to draw.
Yes.
We drew
And that little bit of luck gives you the enthusiasm for the next day. doesn't it?
Certainly, like we got a blinder, I think it was starting in 50, the game.
Yeah.
And Connors scored a very early goal, didn't he then? And a few points, and we went from there, we never looked back.
Right,
We
yeah.
never looked back after that.
Jeannie, have you happy memories? Lot
Well,
of them.
there's a few of them, I suppose, yes, but I say one of them will be scoring a goal, I suppose, in the semi-final. Would be one of the memories.
That's something you wouldn't forget.
But of course, the final was the real thing, like, you know.
Of course it was.
Especially when it was the first one, I suppose, that we ever won, like. You know?
John, you were involved in Kennedy G now for an awful long time, and you would have seen a lot of spectacular times, moments, you know, between Clodagh and Kennedy and all the rest of it. Is there still something that would stick out for you?
Well, there is one thing that sticks out for me, whether it was the greatest moment or not, was that fact that, and it's probably little known, that Kennedy and Clodagh actually played in the mid-cup final in 1949. And some of the people who played in the 1950 team were playing for Clodagh that day, including probably John Drummy.
Yeah.
Not certain if he was, but I think he was. But I remember being in Courtyard, and Clodagh supporters came into the grounds with a big banner with two handles on it, Clodagh a boo written on it. I can remember that distinctly.
Yeah.
And Kennedy won, and Clodagh won the junior hurling the same year, and both of them were knocked out of the county championship the same day in Mill Street. John Beeses in Mill Street. That was the highlight. I think Kennedy and Clodagh in the mid-cup final, the football final. Because Kennedy had a hurling team for 2 years, in 1948 to 49. So they were things that stick in my memory.
That's a very unusual memory, all right. Chris, what about you?
Well, of course, the final was memorable, but also the lead up to it and the drama about the objection by Bandon.
Oh, wait, do you tell us about the objection? Because I don't know anything about the objection.
One of the objections is here in front of me, Johnny Drummy.
All right. Are we getting controversial now?
Morris Jones was objected to because his name wasn't in Irish on the paper or something.
Oh,
yeah, who
right.
knows the Irish for Jones anyway? And then the third was the Brown and Bailey. They were supposed not to be registered with the county. Mm-hmm. And there was an objection lodged by Bandon. In the meantime, the boys go ahead with their match. The objection was not sustained. So Bandon appealed to the Munster Council. In the meantime, the county final, Kennedy go ahead with the county final and win it, but they still don't know whether they're county champions or not until the findings.
Oh my God! You guys are living through that
findings
now.
of the Munster Council. Now, we had very good advocates in the county board at the time. The father of one of them is here present at the moment, and he was very helpful. Mm-hmm. John Barry Murphy.
All right.
Anyhow,
Dinny Barry, of course.
The objection was thrown out. The appeal was thrown out, and Kennedy were at long last clearly county champions. So that was
You
another.
had to wait. The final whistle didn't do it.
Recall the objection to John Drummy. Would you relate that?
Well, you were supposed to play with Ballineen, Jonathan, wasn't it?
Same here, right?
Was it?
Bandon objected to John Drummy that he played with Ahiol, which on the 12th of August. That was the objection. Anyway, there was a man in Ballineen who Dermot Moynihan was speaking to, and he asked did Johnny Drummy play in Ballineen on the 12th of August. And he said he couldn't have played on the 12th of August because he was playing a score in his scheme the same day. So that was the evidence at the county board, and they took O'Neill, who was a very distinguished member of the association. So the objection was ruled out of order. Yeah. He was playing a score the day he was supposed to have played with Ahiol in Ballineen.
That's true or false, John?
You got your great memory. Great memory.
So, Neely, what's your greatest memory?
Well, it has to be the All-Ireland final in Croke Park, I think.
This year?
I think I'll never get over it.
You don't want to get over it. Who wants to get over it?
It's a fact, yeah.
Yeah. It will be somebody else next year, and that's great too. But it was great to be there. Yeah, it was wonderful. So, your greatest moment, John, I don't know if you gave us that or not.
Well, I suppose if we go back to the 50s, we just speak about the 50s, I suppose as a young lad to see Kennedy winning the junior championship in 1950. I'm just talking all around the 50 period. I think that will always live in my memory.
Very good.
As an outstanding day. I can also remember the Mardyke. I think we were down a point. JJ got the ball at centre back. I don't know how many times he swallowed it, but he ran 40 yards, and I think, if my memory serves me rightly, that he kicked it over the bar. We survived anyway and won the replay well. I can remember that Sunday as if it was yesterday. So certainly around that period, I would say seeing Canvey win the junior final, because when you're young, you look at these men as giants that time, and you still admire them as giants today at the club in that era.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Dan, was that your greatest day as well? That day you won?
That year it was the covers, yeah.
Yeah. Did you go to Crow Park this year?
Yeah.
And did you feel that same buzz like you felt back there in the 50s when you were there, the men out to make history?
Yeah. That's right. I said it's a grand place to go to anyway. Like.
It is, and sure, this is it. This is it, so that in itself. And it was comfortable on the day, of course, which that made an awful difference for everybody as well. So now, captain of the team, what are you going to tell us? Was it taking the trophy on that great day?
God, I suppose, but my memories of that day, the draw, JJ threw the ball over the bar.
I'd say he's still throwing the ball over the bar.
Definitely thrown over, the gang was going down together, and JJ was in the back and he threw it over the bar to draw it.
Well, I'd say you would be correct, because I say we are very lucky that the referee was from St. Vincent's that year. St. Vincent's
What was definitely a trophy, get it right, we get it.
The Vincent's Club were very great friends with Kennedy, all loyalty there, Roger Ryan and
that's right.
I never remember that day.
The Lucy's and all those.
So we're always playing with them, and you're playing against them on matches.
We have a little bit of the silverware. Sorry,
Just
John.
two small footnotes to the 1950 final. One was that playing for Newmarket that day was a fellow by the name of Dan Quality, who went to America afterwards and came back, and his son was the Danny Quality, who won 2 All-Ireland medals for Cork in 19.
That's right.
He did there last year, John.
He did, yes. That's right. And the other was, and if my memory mightn't serve me right here, but somebody will confirm it, I think we weren't presented with the cup at all after the final, were we?
No, we weren't.
Pending because of the appeal that was pending.
Yeah.
All right.
The cup was presented later on.
Well, talking about cup, we have a little bit of the. Have we any more of the trophies that boys would have? I suppose these are Dan's medals, are they, Dan?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Very beautiful medals indeed. This is the Cork Junior Football Championship 1950, won by Canvey, which is inscribed here in the back of this lovely medal. We have another one here. Crave Pellin Nishinshire 1950. Have we more there, lads? What does this represent?
That was
What was this?
the 50th anniversary.
The 50th anniversary, Kennedy GA Jubilee 2000. Jerry Murphy, captain. Have we more stuff here, boys?
That's 51.
51. What's that for?
That's the 51 Junior Ireland.
Oh, this is an, oh yes, this is an All-Ireland, a Junior All-Ireland in 1951. This is JJ's, is it?
Yeah. And then the two,
Are you a captain?
And the Corkin and
Oh, you don't boast at all, JJ. You were captain.
He was captain, yeah.
Very good. And you didn't tell us anything about that.
We discussed that after
the 50.
Cork Junior Football Championship in 1950, won by Canvey. No, we better not mix these up now, because these are definitely something to be treasured forever.
That was the league medal we won in the 51, 52. After that.
Oh, that's a lovely medal, yeah. There's a Cork medal as well. Very nice.
That was the
Treasured.
day you were up against Pettibone Brosnan, was it?
That was in the 52, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you win this with?
That was the league medal, 51, 52.
Now, I think, gentlemen, we might make one further effort to contact Maurice Jones. We tried before the programme to make contact with him, but he seemed to be out of range, so we'll just try it once again. And if there's anything else you want to talk about, now's your chance to be thinking while I'm making the call. Is that okay? You're all very quiet now.
Football, how many did they make?
Everyone is very quiet. I just hope. Doesn't look too good, does it?
No.
How did you travel to the games when they were far away?
Huh?
Could you tell me that?
We was playing the skiing tournament, and then we was going by lorry.
Well,
Moylan's lorry
We
anyway,
had 2 buses to go actually.
and Callan's with over Fernand's.
Yeah.
I saw,
He was going to lorries.
On
And
Friday.
of course, they made Cork and all those. You cycled or you walked it.
Yeah, and how many would be in a car now if you were taking a car now to a game?
Jerry Crowley didn't let anybody with
That's
cars.
right,
When
right,
senior
yeah,
with
yeah.
cars, it was.
However many is fit in.
John?
I'd say that, yeah. Yeah.
But the supporters used to go by bus later on. I remember there was 3 buses left Carrick Village the day of the county final in 1950. There was 3 buses left, one after the other. So it was buses mainly. Just travelled to Bantry and those places by
And
bus.
Glengarriff.
And Glengarriff by bus.
And before we finish now, we'll have to ask the all-important question. How did you celebrate in those days? Has that changed at all? Of course,
No.
there was nobody drinking in those days anyway.
Celebration never changed.
Most people would have a few drinks, but at the time, the drink couldn't.
Would everybody go to the pub after a game, or would they go home, or would that be the end of it? Seriously now.
We normally talked off in pubs as the general rules.
Right,
Yeah.
Cretans here in Macroom, for instance.
Yeah.
And then you had John Callans and Court.
Do you remember we went to the Southern Hotel after the match, the county final?
We did.
Johnny Quirks.
Johnny Quirks.
Yeah.
Generally, the people have a few drinks after a match and that'll be.
And what about when you won the All Ireland? Do you remember that we had a big turnout for you in Kerry? Do you remember?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Tar barrels and all that kind of stuff.
There was one thing as a result of the 1950 win. JJ captained the Cork Juniors to All Ireland victory in 1951 and then won a National League medal in 1952 and played in the All Ireland senior football final against Louth in 1957. And then also has a junior All Ireland medal and played in 2 Munster senior finals.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what years then. 1953 was one of them, was it?
And Northern Richmond.
52 would be one as well, anyway.
He played
Promoted in 52 from the juniors.
Yeah.
That's right. In 51 he was promoted from 50 in 51, wasn't he?
Huh?
He was promoted from the juniors in 51, wasn't he?
From the juniors in 51.
Yeah.
Well, the 51 wasn't it was promoted, but I came, Dan was captain, I came captain then.
That's right,
51.
yeah. And other members of that team in 1950 team like Dan Finnegan, we were speaking to there, and Johnny Finnegan, they also won All Ireland junior medals later on in the 50s. There was a lot in order. Cork won a number of junior All Irelands in the 50s and was academy man in almost every team.
Well, it's amazing, lads, and you're still fit. I'd say if there was a game tomorrow, you could go out and play and win, like you did before. It was great having you all here this morning, and I think this is probably a touch of history, and this is a recording that we're all going to love having, and it's nice to be able to match it with the victory on the 17th of February. So with that, I'm going to say thanks very much for taking the time to come today, and I hope you, the viewers, are going to enjoy this recording of the 1950 County Champions Kennedy.
Well, we must thank you much, Tilly, for the great Gilly work that you have to come on. And thank you very much for being here today with us.
Thank you.
So with that, we
it's
say...
only right to say I say heartily congratulations first of all to the Kennedy winning the county junior All Ireland, and particularly to all the members of the team and the members and the officers of the board and all the backroom boys for all the amount and effort they've put in organising that sort of marvellous achievement. And then not all nice people that all the people out there are looking after the youth, and it has paid dividends. Thanks be to God. It was a marvellous occasion. It's one we'll always remember.
With that, I think that's a nice note to leave it on.
Yeah.
Wishing all the young people the best in the future, and going on and do like you did, stick with it, and be proud to wear the jersey.
Sure.
And now we bring you the Crookstown sponsored walk in aid of the Guide Dogs for the Blind, and this was in 2007.
We a few macaronis, 1 or 2 pals of mine. We went in a hotel and we did very well, and then we came out once again, and then we went in the underwear, and that is the reason I'm fool. We had 6 Jochen Boris and sang a chorus. Just listen, I'll sing it to you. I belong to Glasgow, dear old Glasgow town. Oh, what is the matter with Glasgow? For it's going round and round. I'm only a common old working chap, as anyone here can see. But when I get a couple of drinks on a Saturday, Glasgow
Father Teddy has arrived, and I might call on him to say a few words and to say a prayer for deceased members and those who are seriously ill.
Thanks very much, Jim. Tessie, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here again this year, and I hope that we won't get any shower and be washed out of it. It's great to see you all, and all I really want to say is, look, keep up the good work. It's tremendous what's achieved every year, and particularly Tessie's inspiration. I suppose there's a certain lack of freedom associated with it all, because none of us get a whole lot of choice about participating or doing anything, but that's how things happen at the end of the day. Good, dedicated people. So I hope that today will be a great success again, and thank you very much. And I've been asked to say a prayer for the deceased now, so we'll say one Our Father. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord. May they rest in peace. So enjoy the walk, and God bless everybody.
Thank you, Father. Now we call on Breda Clancy to say a few words.
Reverend Father, ladies and gentlemen, as always, it's a great pleasure for me to be here in Crookstown for the dog walk. And today I have Lenny with me. And Lenny is a guide dog in training, I suppose, but very much more for fundraising and going to various events. And he's going to be walked today, hopefully by Tara. It's great to have Tara Denny here today. 31 years ago, Tara's dad and Mrs. Dunlop started up Irish Guide Dogs for the Blind. And I think when they started, little did they know at the time that guide dogs would become so big, I suppose, and would benefit so many people here in Ireland. And I'm sure that when Jim sees it now and sees all the people that have come on board with Irish Guide Dogs, they're all so dedicated and give so much time to the cause to provide guide dogs for people who are blind and visually impaired. I'm sure that he's very, very proud. Again, I would like to say it's wonderful to see you all here today. As I say, Guide Dogs has grown quite a lot over the last few years in particular, and we have also increased a lot of our services as well. So with training people with guide dogs and long cane users, we now train people in daily living skills, which is the basics of being able to cook and wash and iron for yourself. And also we now train dogs over the last 2 years for children with autism. So we have come a long way, but we wouldn't have come a long way without the generosity of people and the generosity of yourselves here today, because I suppose everything that starts somewhere has to begin. A lot of it begins, unfortunately, with money. And this year, all our services will cost in the region of 4 million. And 80% of that has to be fundraised for. All our services are free of charge. So when you come here today, just to go out and walk and enjoy the day and bring along your sponsorship cards, you're part of Irish Guide Dogs and you're the people who actually fund it and keep it going. So on behalf of everybody who benefits, thank you very, very much for coming out here every year and supporting this wonderful walk. Now I would also like to thank Jim beside me here. Thank you, Jim, for all your hard work. And also I'd like to thank the Minister. I think you're not known as anything else but the Minister. So thank you very much. And of course, Tessie, because without Tessie, I think the Crookstown Walk would not be as big and as strong as it's got over the years. And with the help of Jim and John Joe, you've brought it a long, long way. So thank you so much. Enjoy your walk. Please be careful on the road, and especially on the Macroom Road. And please God, we'll see you down at the next pub in hopefully maybe 40 minutes or so, and that it will stay dry. So again, thank you very, very much. Thank you.
all before the dawn, and you're ready to begin another day. When the pleasant rolling sea and the herring running free, and the fleet are riding gently to the foam, when the boats are loaded down, they'll be singing in the town, when the boys on Killy Banks come rolling home. Upon your hands, but you'll never leave the sea, for whoever you may be, when it's in your blood it's hard to live on land. Now the autumn leaves are falling, and the tourists have all gone, and the children, they have all gone back to school, and my life is as it was before. I work 8 hours a day, but the company's still making all the rules. But there's a girl in Massachusetts, south of Boston town, she said, and her lovely face is with me all the day. Sure, I met her down in Ultralee, golden hair upon her head, and I took her heart and she stole mine away. Goodbye, my Boston beauty, farewell, my Boston rose. I'll wait for you, I'll think of you, no threat to you I'll pose. Goodbye, my Boston beauty, farewell, my Boston rose. I wish that you were here, but I know that's the way life goes.
And now I'll hand you over to Breda just to say final few words.
Again, thank you all very much for coming along here today. It's been a great day, and actually the weather has been just smashing. So again, many thanks. Please God, we'll see you all again next year. Again, thanks to Tessie for the incredible work and organisation excuse me, that went into the walk today. Thank you very much, Jim, here beside me, and also thanks to the Minister as well for all you've done to put this together. Again, safe home, and thank you.
Thanks, Breda. God bless you and stay home. Bye.
He was born in a mansion down in the county of Clare. Rosie was born by the roadside, somewhere in the county Kildare. Destiny brought them together on the road near Killoughlin one day. Neath a bright pretty shawl she was singing as she stole his young heart away. And she sang, meet me tonight by the campfire, come with me over the hill. Let us be married tomorrow, please let me whisper I will. What if the neighbors are talking? Who cares if your friends stop and stare? You'll be proud to be married to Rosie, who was reared on the roads of Kildare.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are all very welcome. This is a great event going on for a number of years now, and all due to the woman here on my left, Tessie. Tessie is a great organiser. She keeps us on our toes every year, and Johnny, you must be under fierce pressure. We're definitely under pressure when Tessie gets going. But anyhow, she's a great organiser, and I have no doubt, but she keeps to some secret until the night, but no doubt we'll know very shortly. There are a few people I'd like to welcome. Father Teddy, Michael Creed, TD, Terry Canty, County Councillor Michael Creed, Councillor, Martin Coughlin, Councillor, Breda and Padraig, you're very welcome.
I don't care.
Again, tonight, we're just absolutely amazed that 15,000 has been raised. But what we've done as well tonight is, because the Crookstown Dog Walk is going on since 1990, we've added up all the figures, and tonight we have the cheque of the amount of money that Crookstown has raised over the years. Right, so this is my turn to unveil, isn't it? So it is. So now, look at that. 120,000.
Right, John Joe?
Everyone welcome.
Right, hold it.
Right, Michael Creed.
Follow that, and it's a difficult task, but Reverend Father, ladies and gentlemen, and councillors, I'm delighted to be here. I don't know, I've been here now a number of years in succession, and it's difficult not to repeat what one has said in previous years about the value of this event and the importance of voluntary fundraising for the Irish Guide Dogs. I'd like to compliment Padraig and Breda and the work they do in the Guide Dog Centre in Ballincollig. And I think all of us see, if you pardon the term in the context of the purpose of the fundraising, see the value of the work and the good use that the funds are put to on a regular basis. If you drive through Ballincollig, you'll see people out training dogs, and indeed in our own communities we often see people who have benefited. And one of the great innovations that the guide dogs have had in recent years is the use of the dogs for autistic children, which I think is a great innovation for socialising these children, and I've seen it at close quarters in Macroom myself, and it's a fabulous new innovation which I hope will go from strength to strength. But I'd like also to pay tribute to Tessie. When Tessie comes calling, there's no escaping you. It's a question of, Tessie says jump, and it's a question of how high, Tessie. And you know, it's easy to I suppose to say the simple words of thanks, but somebody has to do this.
Somebody has to take it by the scruff of the neck. Somebody has to corral us into making the effort for the walk and into gathering the funds. And it doesn't happen without enormous effort. And I think, you know, when all the dust settles, were it not for the effort of Tessie and her committee here, this just wouldn't happen. And if it wasn't happening, the services that the guide dogs provide, the length and breadth of the country, wouldn't be as comprehensive as they are. And I think that's, in a nutshell, why all of us are so willing to give of our time and willing to acknowledge the effort that goes in every year. So to everybody involved, sincere congratulations, and I hope that it will go from strength to strength. It's 17 years on the go now. I hope the next 17 will be as good, and I hope the figure when you unveil it in 17 years' time, Breda, will be touching the million maybe. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Michael. Now I call on another great supporter of ours, Derry Kenty, to say a few words.
Reverend Father, Deputy, Councillors, ladies and gentlemen, and the boss. Again, I'm delighted to be here again tonight, and I want to thank you sincerely for your invitations. Each year, as I said, we come back here, and it is only with bewilderment that we see the amount of money that has been collected over the year and the way it is going from strength to strength. And it's true for what Michael will say. There's ambitious plans again was announced in the Irish Guide Dogs for the future, and I leave Padraig or Breda go with that. But I must say, like that, this is the events that raise the money for that. You'll get certain amounts only from government through sponsorship and stuff. But the point is, the money really comes from people like you and all of us that go out and walk and raise money, collection boxes door to door and so forth for the Irish Guide Dogs. I asked Breda, was she going bungee jumping? No, not this year. She said, will you come to Cuba on a cycle? And I said, no, straight out. I wouldn't fancy her. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's just to say again, as Michael de Kirk says that it's organisations like out here, organisations that fundraise year in, year out. And when you see the amount of money that's been collected, it's a bewilderment to everyone again to say that this organisation for 17 years has been collecting on behalf of the Irish Guide Dogs. And as money isn't that easy to come by, but each year the figure is going up. And tonight to see 120,000 have been collected so far, it's just pure mind-boggling. And again, it's to Tessie and her committee that each year will put training thought for the following year. How we're starting again. You'll get the phone call. Get ready, bye. Get out your dog. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I say, but on a good note tonight, I'd like to welcome the PP and the curate. That's Deputy Creed and Councillor Creed. It's nice to see the two of them here tonight. You know, it's very rarely that you see a deputy and a cousin, the two of them, the two Creeds together. And again, as I said, I'm delighted to be here and to thank you, each and every one of you, for a kind invitation, and the best of luck to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Derry. I'd now call on Martin Coughlin, County Councillor, to say a few words.
Chairman, Reverend Father, Deputy, fellow councillors, ladies and gentlemen, friends. I'm delighted to be asked here tonight to Crookston for this presentation. It's my first time being here, and I was glad when Tessie asked me, now would I do something to help out this year, and I was more than willing. This committee has put in an awful lot of hard work over the last number of years, 17 years I believe. Now, I have been around a few times before, but I wasn't in the same position as I'm in now. So I would like to congratulate you on the amount of money that you have raised over the 17 years. 120,000 is a lot of money, and hopefully, and I know it has been put to great use by the guide dogs, and all I say is congratulations to you all, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, Martin. I'd now like to call on Deputy Michael Creed to say a few words. Councillor Michael Creed.
Thanks, Jim. Reverend Fathers, ladies and gentlemen, like Martin, it is my first time here at this function, even though through the bingo I was involved in Clondrod with the last 20 years. We used to take up a collection once a year for the guide dogs, and I really know the work that the guide dogs do, and it's fabulous work, and I'd like to thank the committee here for the effort they put in. I know fundraising is a very difficult job, and it is very difficult going back to the same people year after year looking for money, but the cause is great. You've a lot of excellent work done, and I seriously like to congratulate you and wish you all the best in the future. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Michael. Now I'll call on Breda Clancy first.
Good evening, Reverend Father, councillors, ladies and gentlemen. And I'd also like to say a special hello to Tara Dennehy. Tara's hiding, I know she is, but Tara is the daughter of Jim Dennehy, one of our founders at Irish Guide Dogs for the Blind, so it's really good to see you here tonight. As always, when I come here, especially on the night of the cheque presentation, Tessie never tells me, never ever tells me until I sit down to write the big cheque. So I put Irish Guide Dogs, I put Crookstown at the bottom, I put the date, and then I have to wait another while, and then eventually Tessie will tell me how much. And always, it's just incredible that it keeps going up and up every year. So congratulations on 15,000, but in particular, congratulations on 120,000 over the last 17 years. It's incredible work, and I just want everybody to give everybody else a round of applause and thank the committee as well.
Now we'll call on Father Teddy to say a few words, please.
There was a time when people used to be afraid of parish priests, you know, but things have changed. I was sitting in my house there last Friday evening, I think it was, at that kind of hour, you know, when you could have 40 winks quietly. The phone rang, Tessie at the other end of it. She says, Tuesday night. And I hummed and hawed and kind of said, "God, I have a station, Tessie." She said, "Yeah, but you'll be there at 9:15. So she truly an amazing woman, and I just want to again echo every single thing that was said. An amazing woman, and well done, Tessie. And I think also it's a reflection on this community, the generosity of this community. Like in the office that I hold in the parish, I have occasion to appeal to you from time to time, in fact many times during the year, for this cause, that cause, or the other cause. I was telling you there last week, and that you gave €4,000 to Troker this Lent just passed. We're having another collection again this coming weekend for the earthquake in Peru, and so on. It's endless, and it's always looking for money off you, looking for money, and I think it's a tremendous reflection on the generosity of this people. So thanks to Tessie, congratulations, well done, and thanks to all of you indeed for your generosity. And the best of luck to the people in the guide dogs. Thank you very much.
I drove a modest Royler back in 1964. I danced in every ballroom from Clodagh to Templemore. My hair ideas have come and gone, but I have no regrets. As Dunfarna, here I come, there's life in the old dog yet. Ah, there's life in the old dog yet, me boy, there's life in the old dog yet. List Dunfarna, here I come, there's life in the old dog yet. I met Miss Maloney when I ate in the Bunanbuy. I asked her back the Spanish pint to see the fury. She hopped into me four-wheel drive, and up the road we sped. Kilnascully, here we come, there's life in the old dog yet. Ah, there's life in the old dog yet, me boy, there's life in the old dog yet. Kilnascully, here we come, there's life in the old dog yet. We thought Nurse Maloney, we'd be left sitting in the fence to say that she kissed Manny the man before she kissed the prince. She had a plan, she bought a man to fill her new jet set. He's old and grey, but she's heard to say there's life in the old dog yet. Ah, there's life in the old dog yet, me boy, there's life in the old dog yet. Kilnascully, here we come, there's life in the old dog yet. Back in with the good old days, I heard the people say, but for our soldiers like myself, they've never gone away. I'll throw my hat into the ring, and the driven times I'll forget. I'll bang my drums till the kingdom come, for there's life in the old dog yet. Ah, there's life in the old dog yet, me boy, there's life in the old dog yet. Kilnascully, here I come, oh, there's life in the old dog yet. Right, I have a small little story to tell you, especially for John Doyle. Especially, oh, sorry, ex-minister. This 85-year-old man, he had a pain in his leg. Now, Kitty? Right, he had an awful pain in his leg, and it was continuous pain, and it was carrying on for about a fortnight, or maybe 3 weeks. And his next door neighbour, caught him walking lame one day, to say. And he said, Paddy, he said, what's wrong with you? Christy said, an awful pain in my leg. So he said to him, did you go to the doctor? Did you do anything about it? Did you do a bit? He said, I didn't go to no doctor. But he said, it's coming to the point that I think I'll have to go now, because he said it's worse than what it's getting. Anyway, he went to the doctor. Said to the doctor, I have a desperate pain in my left leg, he said. Jeez, he said, it's killing me for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So the doctor said, have up in the couch there and we'll have a look at you anyway. So he went up in the couch and pulled up the legs of his pants. And the doctor cut the leg and he twisted this and that way, you know, the usual. And he put that up and over and the other. Anyway, he done the same with the left leg again. And after a couple of seconds anyway, he said to him, John, he said, I can't find nothing wrong with your legs. So he said, Chris said, man, there must be something. He said, it's a desperate pain. Well, he said, you know, the only thing I'll put it down to, he said, is old age. So he sat up in the coach and said, blast you, doctor. He said, what are you talking about old age for? So he said, that leg and that leg are the same age, and there's no, and he said, there's no pain in that one. What are you talking about? Right, here's only the pain in one leg.
Oh, the drink laws in Ireland, sure they are so severe. You're only allowed 3/4 of beer. If the man at the counter fills you the full pint, if you drink it all down, you can't drive home tonight. So severe, no more beer, no more beer. The pub's up for sale by the end of the year. Well, I drank down a full pint last Saturday night. I said I'd drive home, I was feeling alright. Oh, the guard he was pulling, and he pulled me in. Blow into this bag now, says he with a grin. Well, I blew in the bag and the guard looked at it. He said, you're over the limit, be a small little bit. Well, if I done my duty, suspended you'd be. Oh, let this be a warning and I let you go free. Now the wife, she's from Mayo, sure a grand little doll. And the great thing about her, she takes no alcohol. So the next time we go for the night on the beer, I let her do the driving and there's nothing to fear. Oh, the drink laws in Ireland, they are so severe. You're only allowed 3/4 of beer. If the man at the counter fills you the full pint, don't drink it all down, for you'll be fine home tonight. Thank you.
Come in, Tom. Well done.
Sweetheart, I'm bidding you fond farewell. I will be yours someday. I'm bound for a new land, my fortune to try, and I'm ready to sail away. Far away in Australia, soon will come the time when I watching the whole day through. Someday a letter from over the seas, and she's hoping these words are true. Far away in Australia, now has come the time when I am ready to welcome at last the girl I left behind.
Thank you. And now we bring you Dave O'Mahony's recording of Clowndrahut Senior Citizens Party.
Down the mountain through each and three, where we sported and played, 'neath each green leafy shade, on the banks of my own lovely lea, where we sported and played, 'neath each green leafy shade, on the banks of my own lovely lea. And then in the springtime of laughter and song, will I ever forget the sweet hours with the friends of my youth as we rambled along midst the green mossy banks of wildflowers, and through when the evening sun sinking to rest sheds its golden light over the sea. The maid with her lover, the wild daisies pressed on the banks of my own lovely lea. Oh, there's a doubt in my soul never sounded or known. There's a place in my memory, my life, that you fill. No other will take it, no one ever will. Sure, I love the dear silver that shines on your hair, and your brow that's all furrowed and wrinkled with hair. And I kiss the dear fingers so time-worn for me. Oh, God bless you and keep you, Mother Macree. Every sorrow and care in the dear days gone by was made bright by the smile and the light in your eye. Like a candle that's lit on a window at night, your fond heart hath cheered me and guided me right. Sure, I love the dear silver that shines in your hair, and your brow that's all furrowed and wrinkled with hair. And I
age of 63. I don't intend to marry or to raise a family. I'm happy and contented to lead a single life. And that's why I'm a bachelor and I don't intend to get the rest of our fingernails and varnish on our toes. Rattle on our own face or we'll whitewash our nose. She made a fancy barber to shave her neck or head. And that's why I'm a bachelor and I don't intend to get that's always the end of the market in the town of Mullingar. A friend he introduced me to the street school star. Now it's several times before the men of Airbnb. We thought she had a sucker in the battle for Christine. The rest of our fingernails and varnish on her toes. Rattle on her own face over the whitewash her nose. We made a fancy barber to shave her neck or head. And that's why I'm a bachelor and I don't intend to I'm happy and contented to lead a single life. I'm earning 10 and 6 a week for walking on the ball. I'm glad that this life will be so on the top of the sky. And that's why I'm a bachelor and I don't intend to it's the one that fingernails and varnish on my toes. And I'm always open like a nose. We get a fancy barber to shave her neck or head. And that's why I'm a bachelor and I don't intend to and that's why I'm a bachelor and I don't intend to
And that completes our programme for this week. Thank you for watching and good night. Ihawa.
The night is fading fast, and I'm thinking of the past as I'm sitting with my darling by my side. She's an old and wrinkled dame, still I love her just the same. As that happy day she came to be my bride, I think I see her now with a smile upon her brow, as she told me she'd be mine forevermore. I'd no our fortune bright. But I took her home with pride to the cabin with the roses round the door. Light-hearted did I toil, and I found that grateful soil gave me back for my work 100-fold. If I'd enough and I could spare for the poor a tiny share, then I'd envy not the planter and his gold. But we had to share a grief, resignation brought relief. It was sad until the bitterness was o'er, for we both were sorely tried when our little darling died in the cabin with the roses round the door. We still must journey on, though the boys and girls have gone to the city mid the bustle and the strife. They have left us here alone in a cabin that's our own, where patiently we wait the close of life. But together, all in all, some sweet stories we recall of the dear little one that's gone before. We are happy, though we know that too we soon will go from the cabin with the roses round the door.